because there's a lot of financial information on TV right now. Every day there's something. So if there's any item, any topic that you would like to get some clarity on, or you have a question about it, or maybe you had an experience with it, let's like talk about it and flesh it out and make sure it's out there in the ether. Okay, so I also need to change glasses. My glasses. The cream bag, the cream and brown. Sorry, this is for distance, but I gotta read some stuff here. So I need to get, how did you know it was this one? It is this one. There's another one in there. She's brilliant. She just look at it. I think it's because it's ugly. She knew it was the reading glasses. Okay, so this morning, Pastor talked about the importance of money management in the Black community. Now, because I've worked in the Black community with Black folks for at least 30 years, we have serious problems in the Black community concerning money. So, because y'all are young, we want y'all to know what you need to do so you don't get into trouble the way some previous generations did. And so this evening, the topic is called Building Financial Confidence. Especially the older one. Aquino, come. Candy's gonna handle Akeem. He's going in the bathroom. Building financial confidence. So I have a quote here from the Council for Economic Education. There's actually, I've been a financial counselor for a long time, but you have to be trained to be a financial counselor. So you could do that by, there are certain organizations that will train you to be a financial counselor, to help people manage their money. So here's what they said. You may not know much about managing money, but what you don't know can hurt you. All your life, you'll be spending, saving, borrowing, and investing, making economic decisions as a consumer, a worker, an investor, and as a citizen. So you can't avoid money, especially the culture that we are in. And some of you who are looking at colleges soon, Abby, you're gonna be looking at college soon, right? How about you, Cameron? How many of y'all gonna be looking at colleges within the next 18 to 24 months? At least 3 or 4 of you, right? What about you? You're not ready for college yet? Okay. But, Oh, well, are your parents paying for it? So then, you're in this conversation. Yeah. And I also said this morning, I don't know how many of you were here, there are no independent financial decisions. So if you make one bad decision up front, it's going to affect all your other finances. You get that, right? If you borrow too much money for school, you're going to end up with a lot of student loans. And if you do not get a job that can pay you enough to pay off your student loans and still allow you to save or buy a house or a car or whatever, it means that you made a bad financial decision in how much you borrow. So be careful how much you borrow. Even if you can qualify for a certain amount, you have to be careful not to borrow more than you need, because whatever you borrow, you have to pay back. So that's the first financial decision when it comes to debt that a lot of young people will encounter. It'll be the student loan. And another thing you need to know about student loans never go away, only death. If you died, student loans would die with you. But student loans will stay with you, you will pay it back. Or the government have some programs for forgiveness, so if you qualify for one of those programs, you'll get help with student loans. So be careful with student loans. I am harping on this because this is usually the first big debt that a lot of young people have. Most young people know saving is important, but they're not sure how to actually save. Who here could tell me how you start to save? Any one of the young people? How do you start? I'm starting with the young folks because they have less information than a lot of older people do. Because older people had to learn by trial and error. If you don't know something, it's good because you're young, right? You're not going to know everything. So give him the microphone.
Okay, it's like tithing for yourself. So you tithe, you pay your tithes and offering, and then you take 10% of the remainder and put that away. And however you want to do it, you can put it away in a bank account. I'd recommend that. It's easy to move the money. Put it away in a bank account that you don't use for anything else, and that's like your savings account. So every time you make money, you put 10% of that into the bank account at the tithes and offering. So you tithe for yourself.
Okay.
Then at the end of the year, you could see how much.
Okay, everybody heard that? That's a good strategy. If you want to start savings, what he's saying is that you have to plan. Everything you do in this life, you have to plan. See how he already planned this out? He's returning 10% tithe of whatever he makes net, right? Because there's another thing called taxes that we'll talk about. So he's going to set aside 10% for tithing, and 10% is called paying yourself first. Oh, you're just a superstar, aren't you? And he's young, he's not married yet, guys. But he tithes on gross. But that's another conversation, so we'll leave that over there. But you see, he planned to give 10% to God and 10% in what old people call pay yourself first. That's one way of starting a savings account. But you actually could start a savings account before you even start working. Because when you have birthdays and Auntie Candy give you $50, you could actually start your savings with the money you get for birthdays. Or you could, if you have, like a lot of young people are very skilled at different things. They make things, especially stuff on the computer. If you're making things and you're selling, that money could be used to start a savings account. Now, how do you actually start a savings account? Come, I can't hear you. I think I can't hear well with these glasses. I got you. That's my associate here. She's gonna play a game with you. You need a microphone.
I don't need
No, we
another.
have
It's a
one.
microphone.
We also have.
I don't need another mic. So you're gonna take your phones out for a little bit. Let me switch places with you. Please take your phones out. Everybody has their phones?
Let him go.
Again? Oh,
This one, but this is going back. This is going forward.
it's not going anywhere. Troy, it's not moving again.
Okay, it's
Okay,
moving now.
it did. Okay, so before Sister Garrett gives away all the goods, because she knows a lot about finances and finances that will actually literally move you.
They'll change your life.
Inside joke. No, but before we play this game, I want you to know, young people, that you think like, oh, this money stock and whatever. You just want the money. You just want to get a summer job and get some money and do whatever. But it's important, even if you don't get it all, to try to get from someone like Sister Garrett anytime you have the opportunity. When my husband and I were a young married couple, Sister Garrett took her time to come and talk with us and share with us a lot of things that we didn't know. And I'll be honest, at first I'm like, this is way above our means and our abilities. But my husband had more faith than I that, this was something worth it. And I just hung in there. Even if I didn't understand it, she would come by every week and sit with us. And guess what? That learning that she shared with us translated into us putting into action the plan, as Avery was talking about plans. And because of those plans, we now don't rent, but we have our own home for decades. Okay? So let's see what you know, because it's helpful when you're trying to teach somebody something to see what you know already, what you understand or what you're confused about, and what you really want to know. So before Sister Garrett goes further and shares with you, I want you to go to kahoot.it, and we're going to play this game. Candy.
Everybody's got it?
Does anyone join?
Keziah has it. You have it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Cameron, you got it?
The code is up there.
The pin is up here, 03671809.
Candy, what do you do? Yes, but I'm asking you, I'm missing something. Where is it not started?
Are you in, Cameron?
Okay, I see people in.
Abby, are you in? Oh,
You guys are not seeing the questions yet though, right? Oh, you're playing?
Oh.
I wanted to put it on the screen, but I'm not able to see. So go ahead, and then I'll just ask the questions.
I'll have one of them come up and show you.
No, I can see it from my
okay.
computer.
Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, in the meantime,
They're playing.
oh, they're playing. All right.
Okay, I accept to play individually, so I'll just go over the answers with them. How's it going? Yeah, this one is on. Yeah, but you have it. I don't have it. It's in your email. It's not on the slide. I only made that slide. They're helping. Yeah. Where did it say that? Yeah. I see it. Mm-hmm. I hear a lot of I don't know, and I hear collaboration. Yeah, but I wasn't playing the game yet. But I'm listening. Don't feel bad. I don't know a lot of this either. I'm learning too. Oh, that's my husband's filter. Yeah, yeah. He had a little. He has some investments. His nephew made a lot from it, but he took it out before it was prices. Okay, you guys almost finished? You don't like your score. How do you get on the church's Zoom? Guess you can't see them. Oh, that's okay. Forget it. That's okay. Okay, we're going to start going over the answers. How many of you are done with at least up to question 10? Raise your hand if you got up to at least 10. Only one person? Okay, let me try again. Who's done? Can I see your hands if you're finished? All 15? Who's at least up to 10? Keep your hands up, those who are done. Okay, what are you up to? So, I can see your hand. Okay. Mundo, what are you up to? What number? Okay. David, what number are you guys up to back there? 11? Okay, so we're going to start going over them. So, what is one advantage of using Bitcoin? Is it Bitcoin valuation fluctuates? Bruh. Bitcoins are not widely accepted. Wallets can be lost. Bitcoin protects against identity theft. Ding, 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 that is correct. Number 2, Bitcoin is a decentralized currency. True or false? True. 3, what year was Bitcoin released? Excellent. 2009. 2009. What is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin? Zero. Who created Bitcoin? Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, the process of creating Bitcoin is commonly called blank and can be undertaken by anyone. It's called mining. Bitcoins are mined using powerful computers that solve complicated mathematical equations. Is that true or false? It's true. What is a disadvantage of using Bitcoin? There's 2 right answers. What do you think one is? Who give me a shot? What do you think one of the right answers is? Now, what is a disadvantage of using Bitcoin? Is it not a widely accepted digital currency? Is that true or false? That's true. Safer for merchants? No. And cannot be used in physical stores? True. Low collapse risk? No. 9, what prevents Bitcoin from being counterfeit? No. Is it blockchain? No. Decentralized server? Nope. Private key address, Bitcoin address. 10, you cannot see all Bitcoin transactions, true or false? False. False. 11, where are Bitcoins stored? Digital wallet, bank account, or on paper? Digital wallet. 12, how do you obtain Bitcoins? Mining. Correct, or exchanges, not creating counterfeits. Where are we up to? 13, who controls the Bitcoin network? No one. You thought it was a creator? No, it's no one. 14, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that is illegal. True or false? False. It is fully legal. 15, what happens when Bitcoins are lost? Is it they can be mined again? Nope. They are given to either to other Bitcoin users? No. The demand for Bitcoins increases? Indeed. The Bitcoins are lost forever? Yes. Thank you. That's it. Just seeing, because we talk about money like coins and dollars and savings, but this world is always changing, and technology and the things that are created, even about currency and how we actually have it and use it, that also is changing.
Yes. Thank you, Teacher Carla. Also, too, Bitcoin is very volatile. So a dollar, it could be a dollar today and be like 2 cents by nighttime. So it's not a stable form of investment. So if you're gonna dabble in Bitcoin, make sure you understand exactly what you're getting into. So don't put money that you need in there. After you save your emergency savings, you pay down debt or you pay off debts, and you you build your emergency savings. If you have extra money, that's that kind of money you should use as investments, because all investments are risky. All of them. Some just have lower risks than others, and Bitcoin is one of the riskiest of investment. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, the great Elon Musk stopped allowing people to buy his cars with Bitcoin because he lost a lot of money in that. So I know it sounds sexy, and it is a new type of currency, but one of the things you have to learn very early: do not get involved with any investment that you have not researched and fully understand, because you could lose all your money, and losing money is not fun. Losing money could cause death and depression. So depending on how much you lose, you may or may not recover. So be careful with Bitcoin, learn all you can. That was very good, Teacher Carla. No, I can't see. I don't have distance with those. Can I grow my money? Could you grow your money? Yes, very much so. You can grow your money. Let's do this one first. Watch your money grow. You know what? No, let's do Anna and Sean first, and then we'll show the calculation, right? Let's do Anna and Sean. Okay, so we have a couple of case studies for you. It should come up in A Tale of Two Savers. Okay. We're going to show you how money grows, and we're going to talk about something called compound interest. Fascinating, a lot of fun. So we have two young people. We have Anna Gutierrez, and we have Sean Wright. So let's take Anna first. Anna started saving, and this is the time when you want to take notes, either in your phone or they told me they don't use paper and pens no more. Anna is 22 years old, not much older than people in here. She's right out of college. Now, you'll see something called opportunity cost. Saving involves opportunity cost. And in a nutshell, opportunity cost is something that you have to forego to do something else with a better value. Like, for instance, if you want to go on a fancy vacation and you have to save money for it, it means you can't go out with your friends every Saturday night. So the opportunity cost would be you not being able to go out with your friends on Saturday night so you could save money for that fancy vacation. So that's all opportunity cost is. So the next best alternative you have to give up. It wasn't easy for Anna to save $2,000 a year because she just came out of college. She wanted a car loan and some other expensive things. She couldn't have that. But Anna was determined to save because her grandmother always said, it isn't what you make, but what you save that determines your wealth. That is still true. You could make a lot of money, and if you're not saving, you might still end up poor. So Anna gave up buying that new car, and she saved $2,000 a year. $2,000 a year, she saved that for 12 years, right? So that's $24,000 in 12 years. After 12 years, she got tired of sacrifice and she stopped. She didn't touch the money. That's the key. She did not take out any of that $24,000, right? She left it in. She didn't touch the money that she already saved because she wanted to be sure that she would have money for retirement, which she planned to do at the end of her 65th year when she turned 65. So keep that in mind. Anna saved $2,000 a year for 12 years, and then she stopped, right? That's one part of the case study. Now here we have Sean. Sean Wright didn't start saving until he was 34 years old. He also graduated from college at 22, but he didn't start saving until he was 34. But he had done without many things in college, and once he found a job that gave him a decent income, he decided to live it up. So he didn't start saving until 34. He bought a new car, nice clothes, and he took some wonderful trips. But spending his income involved an opportunity cost. You see how opportunity cost comes back? So Anna, the first case study, she decided to give up those fun things to save $2,000 a year. Sean did the opposite. He decided to do all the fun things and not save. So he actually started saving at 34. By the time he was 34, he got married, so now he has responsibilities. So that's another thing you guys got to realize, and I say that to young people all the time. When you are not married and you don't have children, now is the time to build your financial empire. That's when you start. You start when you don't have all the responsibilities of life like children and wives. And he decided he'd better start saving and planning for his financial future. He also had heard that it isn't what you have earned, but what you have saved that determined your wealth. Two different people, they heard the same thing, but they took two different paths. The girl, obviously it's the girl, she gave up the fun times and she started saving at 22, $2,000 a year for 12 years. Sean did all the fun things, and at 34 he started. So he figured he had 25 to 30 productive years left in his career. So with new determination, Sean saved $2,000 a year for the next 32 years. That's how much money? 32 times 2. $64,000. He saved for 34 years, $64,000. Go back to Anna. Anna saved $2,000 for 12 years, which is $24,000, but she started at 22, and he started at 34. She didn't touch it, and he didn't touch it. Question for you. Which person do you believe had more savings at the end of his or her 65th year? Which one had more money? Think.
Anna.
They put it in a savings account, let's say 10%. 12 years, no more, at 10%. He saved the same $2,000, but for 32 years at the same 10%. But he was 34. So remember, he's reaching 65 before she does. She has more years for her investment to grow because she started at 22.
Oh, I was just saying, even though he
Put the microphone to your mouth.
even though he saved for that amount of time,
34 years.
the 34
32
years, he's ending his retirement with that much money. But for her, she's retiring after him, so she's gonna have more time for it to build like interest.
Yes. Abby, you put your finger on it. Anybody else?
Anyone else?
Okay, so we run into something called time value of money. Isn't this fascinating? No, keep it out there, keep it flowing. Huh? The video is up?
It's next.
Oh. Okay, so Teacher Carla, give me the next one. So we'll show you how it all fell out, how it all came through.
So where's Sister Garrett?
Well, no, put it up first, and then we'll talk about the method.
Oh, you're covering something.
Yeah. So
Okay.
put up the graph.
The graph?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, I don't have that.
Troy,
There's too
give me
many pieces.
Troy, give me page 3.
This explained it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that piece
Okay.
after we look at that. Oh, Brother Garrett, where have you been? It's the graph of Anna and Sean's savings. I think it's page 3.
Can you open the book?
Oh, you know who it is?
It's Candy.
Oh, it is Candy. Okay. So could you see the graph up on the screen? Could it be a little larger? Oh, Candy, that's good. Okay. So on the left side of your screen, you will see Anna's you would see Anna's savings, right? Anna Gutierrez. And on the right, you'll see Sean Wright. I'm going to read from here. Look at Anna's savings. Age 21, we're reading this from left to right of the screen. So you see the age on your extreme left side. 20, she started at 21, 22. At 10%, she's putting in $2,000 a year. Come all the way down to year 20, age 20, age 34. So at age 33, Anna stopped making deposits. She put in $2,000 for 12 years, and then she stopped. But if you go up the page, stay there, Troy, stay right there. At age 34, even if she didn't make any deposits, you can see on the right side of that column, the right side of the $2,000, yes, that side, you can see at age 34, she's earning interest of $4,704.54. She didn't put any money in at 34. Troy, go down the page, all the way down. See how stop at age 45. At age 45, she's made, from the money she saved, she's now made $13,000 in interest, $13,422.61. And all the way down to, let's go to 65. See, at 65 years old, she made $90,300,60 on that $24,000 that she saved up until the age of 32. And so if you look at the column next to that, at age 65, Anna has $993,306.59. She started early. So she started at age 22. So what's the time span between age 22 and age 65? 43 years? So she had 43 years for her money to grow. Y'all see the difference? She was younger when she started, and she and Sean, they reached 65 at the same time. We're going to look at Sean. Now remember, Sean started at age 34. She started at age 22. Troy, we may have to move me and you out of the frame. or bring the text to your right. There you go. All right, so we're starting with Sean starting his journey at age 34. No, go to the other way. Go to your left, yeah. And go up to age 34. And then go to the right side under Sean. Right, so you see Sean just starting. So whereas Anna started at 22, so by age 34, she has $51,749.97. Sean is just beginning at age 34. So he only has in interest $2,200 at age 34, while she has $51,000. So we go down to age, let's say age 50 with Sean. Let's go down to age 50. He's still putting in $2,000, By age 50, Sean has $100,318, while Anna has, at the same age 50, $237,789, again, because she started early. And I'm going over this so you guys see the impact of starting early. I went down one? Okay. Thank you, Cameron. So you can see already, you see a pattern, right? Y'all see a pattern here? You all see the logic behind starting to invest early or starting to save early, right? So let's go all the way down to age 65, Troy. And let's show Anna and Troy and Sean. So Anna at age 65, in that account, she has $993,306. And Sean has $442,503.09. And there's a really good reason for that. It's called compound interest. And Troy, you could take this off so Carla could come back on with the compound interest slide. Who's heard of compound interest? Any of the young folks? Not yet. You'll find out. You're hearing today. All right. Okay. Compound interest is how your money grows. If you were wondering how money in the bank grows, and it's not just in the bank, it could be in any investment. It's really the interest is the magic that grow your money. It also, exists in the reverse with loans, but we're not dealing with loans now, we're dealing with savings. So when you put your money in the bank, the interest rate you get on it is very important, because that will determine how fast or how slow, or whether or not you'll have any growth on your money based on the interest rate. And now is a good time to talk about interest rate or to understand interest rates, because right now the interest rates are rising, they're going up. So compound interest is special though, because
Hey, kid, do you want to play a game?
Yeah, okay.
Real quick, before we start, what do the words compound interest mean to you? Perfect. Let's get started. It's $10 to play. I'm gonna give you two options. All you gotta do is choose the one that makes the most money.
Okay.
We're talking savings and investments here. Big picture stuff. What will be worth more when you hit 65? Option 1. You're 25 years old, and you put away $5,000 a year until you're 35. Then hands off. You let the investment sit. You don't add any more money to it. And when you're 65, you check to see how much it's worth.
All right.
Option 2. You're 35 years old. Again, you put away $5,000 every year. But this time, you keep doing that for 30 years. By then, you're 65. And you check to see how much it's worth. Let's say in both cases, your total investment is getting an average 7% annual return. Make your choice. You have 10 seconds.
Let's do this. Over here, I'm saving $5,000 a year for 10 years. That's $50,000 total. Over here, I'm saving $5,000 a year for 30 years. That's $150,000 total. Math. 7% does something, but I'm putting way more money into that one. So, option 2. Choose that one.
I'm sorry.
Hold it. Explain this.
It's not the right answer. When you're working with compound interest, $50,000 invested earlier in your life will make you more money than $150,000 invested later in your life.
But in option 2, I'm putting in $100,000 more.
Right, but option 1 will still outperform it by 60 G's.
That's crazy.
That's compound interest, baby. The more time you have for your investment to grow, the more free money you get.
What if I don't have $5,000 a year to put away?
Don't matter. Start smaller. $1,000, $500. It's never too soon to start. Putting it off just means you get less in the end.
Then I'm going to stop putting it off. Thank you, Street Turtle. To the credit union.
Man, people not knowing about compound interest sure keeps us in business.
Hey, Turtle.
Hey, no refunds, kid. Them's the breaks.
Don't worry, I get it. You may be a streetwise con man,
I prefer con turtle.
but when it comes to compound interest, you do know your stuff.
Go on.
The more time you give your compounding investments, the more money your money makes for you.
Interest earning interest on interest, as I always say.
What I want to know now is how my investment will sync up with my savings goal.
Uh-huh.
I need to figure out how long it will take to double my money if my interest rate is 3%.
Whoa, hold your horses, Purple Pants. This is big league stuff.
Well, can you figure it out?
The only way, and I mean the only way, to figure it out is to use this very complex, crazy math. You gotta use your X's and your logs and your bases. There's literally, and I can't stress this enough, literally no other way to calculate this or even estimate it.
Oh.
I can do it,
Oh?
but you'll have to shell out $20.
Oh, okay, I guess.
What about the rule of 72?
What?
The rule of 72!
Junior.
What's your interest rate again, Purple Pants?
3%?
Junior, the first rule of 72 is you don't talk about the rule of 72.
24 years. At 3% interest, it will take 24 years for your investment to double in value.
You did that so fast.
It's easy with the rule of 72. All you have to do is divide 72 by the annual rate of return. That's your interest rate. Yours is 3%. So, 72 divided by 3 is 24.
That's amazing. So if my interest rate is 6%,
72 divided by 6 is 12. It would take 12 years to double.
or 1.5%,
72 divided by 1.5 is 48. It would take 48 years to double.
I like this system better.
It's not as exact as the complicated math, but it's a very close approximation.
You are as adorable as you are financially knowledgeable. And you saved me $20.
In times of historically low interest rates, it's even more important to start investing early. I'm still a baby turtle, and even I'm earning compound interest.
So cute.
Would you look at that? Nap time. Show's over. Come on, Junior. See ya.
Hey,
Okay, so questions? Y'all got this, right? Compound interest. Any questions about compound interest? We have a calculation up here, but conceptually, compound interest is really just interest on interest. And so the reason you grow faster and you grow more in a long time, in a long stretch of time, is because you actually get interest on the interest that your money make. So after a year, if you leave the money in there and you don't touch it, because the key is not touching the money. So if you leave the money in there, you'll get interest on the interest you got last year. And after 5 years, you'll get interest on the interest you got over the last 4 years. So as long as it's there, it's growing, it's working for you. It's kind of like a tree. You know, if you don't cut a plant down or you don't trim it, it just kind of grows. Okay, so that's just the idea behind compound interest. And so this is why interest rates are really, really important when you're investing money. And if you're investing in a bank, they have different products that you can invest at different interest rates. But keep in mind, the lower the rate is the less your money will grow. And the higher the rate, it's better. But again, with interest rates, higher rates many times come with higher risk. So we'll talk about risk in a few minutes. So this is actually the quick calculation for figuring out interest. So there's an example here. Maria, she kept a $100 deposit, which is her principal. That P means the principal, the amount of money on investment, for 1 year, which is T, time, because you have to have time for it to grow. And it's earning 2% interest per year, which is the rate. And so to get how much you will make on that $100, you take P times T times R. So it's principal times the length of time times the rate. So you'd see $100 times 1 year times 0.02, because 2% is 0.02. So you always have to make sure you have the right calculation. So you'll make $2 on this $100, earning 2% interest in 1 year. So this is actually the calculation if you want to calculate how to know beforehand how much your money will make based on the interest rate and the time. And of course, everybody got the rule of 72, right? You may not remember it forever and ever, so it's just a quick kind of calculation to help you to have an idea how much time it's going to take for you to get to a certain amount. The rule of 72. So whatever your interest rate is, like right now, interest rates are running at 4.5%, 5%, depending on where it is. If you want to know how long it's going to take $10,000 to double at a 5% interest rate, just take the number 72 divided by 5, and that's going to tell you how long it's going to take for that $10,000 to double. So that's just a quick way to do it. I've been asked who came up with that 72, and I don't have the answer. So that 72, somebody somewhere sat and did some calculations and realized that it works. Okay? So now, everybody's convinced about why it pays to save early? Early, that's the key, early. You have the rule of 72. Where's my narrative? Okay, so early on, so you remember earlier on when Avery had given us an example of how he's apportioning a part of his income into savings? How did you come up with that plan, Avery? See, he read a book. He reads. Thank you, Avery. You read that book too, Mundo? And that's why. That's why you are who you are. Okay. Planning is extremely important to make good financial decisions. And there's a formula for good financial planning. So if you want to save a certain amount in a certain time, there's something you should do called the money date. You should have a date with your money. Akim, come. Yeah, come. You're distracting the young girls. Come. And he's only 5 years old. Imagine that. Oh, 6. How come you two can't take control of him? What's going on? Okay, I'm releasing him to your custody. He's going to sit between the two of you, and he won't move. Go sit between your two brothers. He's in your custody, so you're responsible. Where was I? Okay, the formula for making sound financial goals. You have to have financial goals because it helps with your planning. If you have your goals, it's easier to plan. So, did I send you the SMART? I didn't send it to you. The SMART model of goal setting. It's called SMART for a reason, because it's specific, measurable, achievable, and time sensitive. So I didn't send it to Carla to put on the SMART, SMART model of financial goal setting. So the reason it's called SMART is because we're starting with an S. And you have to be specific when you're making financial goals. So instead of, Keziah, what would you like to save money to do? And how much? I'm coming to you. What would you like to save? What would you like to save money to buy? A house. Well, that's a big goal. So let's take something a little smaller. Yeah, but she may not want a car. Dear Money, what do you want to save for? Well, let Dear Money tell me what she want to save for. What you want to save for? What you want to save for?
A wedding?
A wedding? How much?
How much would I want the wedding
How much you want to save for that wedding?
No. About
10,000?
I was thinking around 250.
250,000?
Yeah.
That's
All y'all.
a big wedding. That's a big wedding. My calculation's gonna be, where's my phone? Okay, so that's a big wedding. So why don't we make it smaller? Why don't we go down to maybe 20,000?
Okay.
A $20,000 wedding. We know you're not going to be happy, but let's stick with 20. And how long is the savings? How long do you want to save for? How many years? You have to know how many years, because you have to tell us when you're going to get married. So the wedding is going to be 2 years, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, so we have $20,000, 5 years, right? How much a year does she have to save? Keziah? So each year she has to save $4,000 to have $20,000 in 5 years, right? Now, you see how that's specific. She didn't just say, oh, I want to save some money for a wedding. She made it specific. She says she wants to save $20,000 for 5 years for a wedding. So when you're setting goals, you want the West Indian wedding? It's going to be cheaper. When you're setting goals, if you are specific with what you are doing and why you're saving the money, it's easier to save. So that's the first thing. That's part of the SMART model for goal setting. Specific. Don't just say I want to save some money, but say I want to save X amount and for this time for that thing. Then you come to measurable. You have to be able to measure your progress. So you want to make something that you could easily evaluate so you know you're on the right track. So let's stay with the wedding, the $20,000 wedding in 5 years. she knows she has to save $4,000 a year each year for 5 years, right? But how is she going to measure that she's on track to save that $4,000 a year? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, now Avery brought up another concept that I love, the DTI, that's the debt to income ratio. You have to try to figure out how much of your money that you have is actually going towards debt and how much you have left over. So that's one way. Look at your debt to income ratio. There's a formula for that that I might share with y'all today also. So that's one way he could evaluate that he's on the right track. So after 2 years, right, he wants to see if he at least had $8,000 because she has to see if she has $8,000 because it's $4,000 a year. So if in the second year she realized she doesn't have 8,000, she has to reevaluate whether or not she will get to that 5,000 or she should change the plans that she put in place. So that's why you have to make sure you can measure your progress as you go along to see if you're meeting the goal. So that's part of the SMART model of goal setting, measurable. Then number 3 is achievable. And achievable, it requires that you know what steps you have to take to reach your financial, your stated goals. So if after 2 years, Diamani realized she doesn't have $8,000 towards that wedding, she may have to decide, what can I do to make sure I stay on track with that $4,000 a year? So she may have to decide that she either has to work some extra overtime, or she has to get a second job, or she may have to change plans altogether. So this part of the goal setting model is to be specific, measurable, and make sure you could achieve those goals. Because a goal is no good to you if you can't achieve it. So that's why you have to put the framework within that to be able to achieve it. Also too, is that goal realistic? $4,000 a year for 5 years. Is it realistic for Diamani? It may not be, but then again it might. And this is why along the way you have to reassess. And so the debt to income ratio would come into play if she realized in the second year she cannot save that $4,000 a year. It means she has to either make more money or she has to reduce that $4,000. So instead of $20,000, she may have to settle for a wedding for $15,000, depending on how much she could save. So again, the SMART goals model of goal setting helps you to build the framework for getting there. So you have to answer these things before you actually get started. So you have to be realistic. There's no point to say, I'm going to save $4,000 a year, but you realize you don't have enough money to save $4,000 a year, then that goal is unrealistic. So you may have to just go back to the drawing board, or like I said, find some other means of raising money. And the last one is the timeline, timely. Set a time for achieving that goal, and every year or so, you have to go check. So if you set that goal for 5 years, but after the second year or the third year, you realize you can't make it, then you may have to change the time, and that wedding may have to be pushed off for another year or two, right? Okay, here we have it. How to set SMART personal financial goals. Do you have is it animated? Okay. So do you, do you have the clicker? Maybe you could bring it down or advance it. Oh, that's it? Oh, the T is the one that's missing? Yeah. Okay. So the last thing we're gonna do, because Candy's here, so we probably run out of time, is strategies for handling unexpected money like refunds and inheritance and bonuses and all these things. So, and I think Avery kind of touched on it. Where are the Stewart girls?
I don't know. They stepped out.
Oh, there's a Stewart girl. We still have one.
Yes, the lucky guinea pig. I am very lucky.
We still have one. Thank you, Stewart girl.
Yep.
Oh. Who's heard of the 30-40-30 rule?
I think I heard of it.
Anybody heard of the 30-40-30 rule?
I heard of it.
Okay. The 30-40-30 rule breaks down like this. And that's usually for money, unexpected money that you come into, like tax refunds, or maybe your auntie left you some money, or you got bonuses or whatever. So, of that money, unexpected money, 30% should be used to handle outstanding debt. So if you have debt, if you have outstanding consumer debt, like credit card debt, or maybe even you want to pay off or pay down a student loan, or you want to pay back a personal loan of something, use 30% of that found money to pay off debts. That's the first 30%. Now, of what you have left, 40% should go towards your current expenses or dreams. So if you want to build an emergency savings, or you want to buy something, I don't know, you want to buy a car or pay off something, well, no, that's debts. Build your emergency fund, or you want to save for some other thing that you want to, 40% of that money should go towards that. And the last 30% you should put towards long-term goals, like saving for a house. Where's Keziah? That's where the house money come in. Or you want to put more money in your retirement fund, or you want to save for education, for yourself, for your children. It's the large purchases that you would put 30% to. So how it breaks down is 30% for your past, which would be your debts, 40% for your present, which would be savings, and 30% for your future, which would be long-term savings. So once you have all these strategies and these little buckets of things that you can utilize to actually make your, what I call build your financial empire, it's easier for you to navigate through any money, whether it's your paycheck or money you received from someone, or you have a side hustle, or you're making a lot of overtime, whatever it is. Always give an assignment to every dollar. Money is like this. If you don't assign it to go somewhere, it's just gonna go wherever. And before you know it, you have no money, or you're wondering, where did all this money go? So we are doing this so you have a more, let me tell you something about myself and Brother Garrett here. I like to spend money. Yes. I like to spend a lot of money. Never mind that I'm the financial manager in the house, because, you know, obviously I'm a banker, I'm a financial counselor. I work in money, but I like to spend money. Brother Garrett is the opposite. He does not spend a penny. But here's what's good about him. Because I'm the spender and he likes to save money, he makes me accountable. So if Brother Garrett makes $100 and he tells you he's putting $50 in the bank, one of the children could fall at my feet dying, he's putting $50 in the bank. And he'll tell me, I'll just go make some overtime to pay for the kid on the floor. So in every family, and I'm letting y'all know now, in every family there's a spender and there's a saver. Don't fight the saver. Because if you fight the saver all the time, you'll end up poor. You have to, the saver forces you to be disciplined and to be balanced. You're going to have a lot of fights, but keep in mind that because it's a family, what's saved is going to be to the benefit of the entire family. So you want to appreciate the savers in your household. Some of them could go too far where they become stingy, but by the same token, you want to appreciate the saver in your household. The spender is always going to spend, so don't worry about us. We have loopholes. We're going to spend. But the saver is valuable to your household, because if you both are spenders, again, when y'all getting married, have the conversation about money. This is why premarital counseling is very important, because you got to talk about money. You got to see about who has bad credit, because if you marry somebody with bad credit, they're bringing it to you, and all their debts they're bringing to you. So these things you have to discuss beforehand and appreciate the savers amongst you. If you need one more caution, if you need information before you invest, not if, you will, or before you save, seek out people you know that can help you. If you go to the bank will help you to a certain degree, because I was a banker and we usually sell products that will either we could make more commission on, or products that the bank wants you to sell. So the bank is a good place if you want to, make financial decisions, but they're not the best. So you want to seek out good sources of real good financial information. So I'm not always going to be with you, but we do have people here. I mean, Edmundo have been on the finance committee forever. And we have the treasurer. Janet's very good. She's very good with financial information. And I think Brother Clinton, he has a degree in finance. He could help you. There are people among you that have information. So don't be ashamed. And one of the things, and I know the young people don't suffer from that, but West Indian folks like to keep things close to the chest. They don't like to tell people their business. But it's not always good to not ask for the information or seek out the information, and then you make a bad decision and it could follow you for the rest of your life. Bad credit is really, really bad. So, or losing money is even worse. Some people commit, grievous harm to themselves when they lose money. Where are those boys? Oh. Okay, so my leader have told me that we have come to an end. Any questions? Where's Richard? Richard?
Rachel.
Yes, we are ready to close. Okay, Diamani, I think we have to vacate the premises.
Okay, we are closing out with a passage from Matthew 25, verse 19, verse 14. Matthew 25, 14 to 30. The parable of the talents. For it will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents here. I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also, who had the 2 talents, came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here, I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gathered where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Put your money wisely. All right. Who's closing out? Prayer. I'm doing prayer too? Okay. Heads about. Thank you, Lord, for this Sabbath day. Thank you, Lord, for giving us another message on how we can be a faithful servant, be a good steward of your money. May this lesson enters our heart and our mind and our soul and put our feet and our hands to work during the week, during this month, so that we can set up good goals, measurables that can go towards advancing your talents that you've given us. Let us invest wisely and also promote you with our money and all our blessings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Have a good week.
There is no situation where my God can be defeated, for he is bigger than my circumstance. And there is no man or mountain that's able to stand against him, for he is maker and the ruler of all. Giants fall and all. The Jordan rolls back for me. The angry billows cease when Jesus stands and your storms. He is right there, right there. Don't fear, and no matter how high your billows roll, your billows know. They know Abraham's God cannot fail. He is still in control. Giants fall, one and all. The Jordan rolls back for me. The angry billows cease when Jesus stands and says, "Peace, oh, peace be still, oh, oh." He's bigger than my circumstance, bigger than giants fall, one and all. The Jordan rolls back for me. The angry billows cease when Jesus